This is Prophet Blake, and you are listening to Worship Radio International, the world's #1 online Christian radio station.
Hey everybody, this is Al, Coaching by Al. We are here, we are back. God bless you. I hope you had a wonderful week. I did, and you know how crazy a week can go, and mine was, I guess, no less crazy than any of yours. But here we are back. This is the perfect opportunity right now to tell somebody that Coaching by Al is on. You are watching on Worship Radio International, or you might even be on my Facebook page. You could be watching later on YouTube, or you could be listening through one of our other outlets like Spotify, SoundCloud, TuneIn. Whatever you do, share this with someone. Like, actually hit the share button or hit the like button. So many of you leave comments. So many of you tune in every week, and I thank you so much for it. But you forget to hit the like button and the share button. So please be sure to do that to make sure that you're helping us to reach a broader audience, okay? And as you can see, I have somebody very special with me today. My lovely, my queen, my baby mama, my girl, my ride or die. She's all of that to me, my wife. Lady Tarcha Wilson, God bless you. I love you.
Thank you.
Don't worry, we don't talk like that at home. It's like, yo, what's up, boo? Good, you show what's up, yo, you good. So we just trying to keep it a little bit holified in here while we're here today. But we are going to have a continuation of a topic we started a couple weeks ago, but we weren't able to do it last week. We started off talking about home-life balance.
Yes.
And so that's what we're going to talk about today as well. We're going to finish up what we started. And I want to also send a shout out to God's Holy Temple Church family.
Yeah.
Hey, family, we love you
fam.
so much. To my family, to my sister, to my brother, to all of our family, and to all of our friends that connect with us each week.
Yes.
And even if we don't get a chance to see you, you know how it is. Sometimes you don't get a chance to see family or friends, but when you see them again, it's just like
you saw them yesterday.
Exactly. Yeah. So we love you. I really mean that. We love you so much, and thank you for supporting us. And don't forget, you also can support us by donations. We'll talk about that a little bit more in a little while. But we really, really would appreciate that, because we want to make sure that we can help as many people as possible. And I feel that what we're delivering is good information that can enhance someone's life. And if you feel the same way, then be sure to share. Be sure to like.
Right.
And leave some comments, We want to hear from you. We want to know your thoughts so that we can be connected in what we're talking about. We need to know that we're delivering content that's helpful. So your replies or your comments help us to know that we are delivering information that's good for you. All right. So, hello, first of all, again, and how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me again.
Excellent, because, I gotta say this. In the event that all things go crazy, I got the one person that I can always fall back on, and that's my wife. Believe it or not, she Army strong, y'all. Actually, she was in the Army for 12 years. We mentioned that last time. So again, thank you so much for your service to our country.
Thank you.
And I really mean that. It's not just something to say.
No
but
flim flam in the old flim flammer.
So yeah, I want to make sure that I'm being respectful in that you did serve our country. I see our sister on, Kimberly Beavers.
Hey, Kim.
Hey, love you. She's always supporting us. And should I keep just chomping around the rigmarole, or should we go ahead and jump right into this?
Let's go ahead and jump into it,
because we got some good feedback last time. People really enjoyed what was going. Yeah, the time does go really fast. So let's jump back into this thing about work-life balance. Last time when we got together, we talked about the hazards of not having a good work-life balance. So let's just take a moment, if you don't mind, recap on what the hazards of not having a good work-life balance is, and then we can jump into some things people can do to actually incorporate that into their lives. And then we're also going to talk about a little bit about how we do it as a married couple.
Right. Married couple. Okay. Well, one of the main things of, and I'm only speaking for experience from myself and my family and my husband, but not having a good work-life balance is detrimental. You lose so much time. You lose so much things that you value. You feel discombobulated, and most of all, you feel empty. having a solid work-life balance, knowing what's important to you, will help you avoid stress, help you avoid bad health, help you avoid missing out on what God has for you. Now, you can work from a 9 to 5, you can work from home, you can be a stay-at-home parent, however that may, speaking in regards to married couples, single couples, elderly, whoever, it all ties into one, and it affects each and every one of us, because if you spend more time on work and not enough time on personal life, something suffers. If you spend time on personal life and not enough works in life, that suffers as well. So you don't want to not give your 100% to everything,
Right.
but you want to give a balanced percent to everything. And it doesn't have to be, and when I say balance, it's not balance as in, if I give 2 hours to this, I got to give 2 hours to that. No, it's that quality time. It's that time that says, I can stop doing this and start enjoying this, or start doing this.
Yes.
So
And that's important. That's important.
Yes.
I remember last time we talked about too how sometimes you could start out in one room cleaning, and you take something into another room because that's where it belongs, and then we start cleaning in that room. But the funny thing about it is that's also what we do with life. We pick up one thing here, we go there, and we pick up something else there, and next thing you know, before you get back to yourself, you've picked up so many other problems or challenges or to-dos, if we can call it that, that you find yourself bogged down when you never intended to have all of that on your plate, but you just kept picking things up because you did not have a prioritized plan going ahead,
and you're not completing things.
Right.
So you're left with more of a to-do list than a done list.
Very true. Very true.
So you have to do that. You have to learn how to complete things, how to prioritize, how to organize. And it's not just in one aspect of your life. It's in everything you do.
Yeah.
Everything.
Now, as I mentioned also before, many times I stayed away from dealing with a planner or one of those books where you write down all of your appointments and everything, because for some reason I had the wrong mindset when I first started that, and I was thinking to myself, I'm living my life by a planner. I'm locked in. I'm shackled. I'm living my life like a robot, just going through the motions. I got to do this, got to do this, got to do this, got to do this. But what I did not realize was you have to budget your time just like budget your finances.
Yes.
I used to think budget was a bad word when I was little. I didn't know. I didn't get taught about finances like that.
Right.
So I thought budget meant you were poor. If you had to budget something, you had to budget meals, you had to budget car rental, you had to budget this. So all that meant to me was budget must mean poor. Budget does not mean poor. I need somebody hey, Roz, I see you. Budget does not mean poor. For anybody who has ever thought that, what it means is you have to plan.
Yes.
That's what it means. The most richest people in the world, if you want to call them that, people who we would consider to be financially wealthy, budget.
Right.
And when I found that out, I was like, wait a minute, maybe I missed something here. So the same thing is, in order to be lifestyle rich,
right,
okay, or life balance rich,
right,
you also have to plan, or you have to budget.
Right.
So that's important.
You wouldn't go on a trip without planning your trip.
Very true.
You wouldn't go.
I hope not.
I hope not. Yeah, you wouldn't do that because you show up to the airport and be like, I don't have airplane to get on. Or if you're driving, you didn't fill up the car.
Yeah, that's not a good look. That's not a good look at all.
Plan, and don't be afraid of planning.
Don't be afraid of planning.
Yeah.
So here's some things that I just jotted down that maybe we could talk about for a couple seconds before we get into how we do things as a married couple, which we have done very well.
Very well. We work together very well.
11 years now, y'all. In September, we will have been married 11 years. How about
Woo!
that? Can we get a whoop whoop? I'm serious, and it's a wonderful thing too.
Yeah.
I'm not just saying that,
like
we don't put any kind of air on as everything is good in public, but then it's horrible at home. No, it's really nice at home. It is really
nice.
good at home, and because we have good understanding of each other. We both want the same things. We communicate very well, I think. And of course, there's always room for improvement. There's always going to be room for improvement until you actually leave this planet. So, but you have to work at it. Okay. I see Tom on there. Hey, brother Tommy, music man. And brother Darrell Beavers, hardest working man in logistics. Straightway transportation, man. I love you. Can't wait to see you all today, God's Holy Temple Brothers. I know I'm digressing. Yes, God's Holy Temple Brothers. Okay. We got a lunch today, and I look forward to being able to stick my head in the door at least to say hi to you. Y'all probably eating already, seeing as how it's like 12 o'clock. Y'all did this without me. It's okay, but have fun anyway. I'll see you all very, very soon. God bless you. Lions Den! I'm not going to roar. Don't worry. Don't worry. Okay, so here's first thing I have here. And you tell me how you feel about it.
Okay, let's go.
How do I balance this work-life thing? Here's number one. Be fair to both.
Yes. Oh.
Be fair to both.
Yes.
Okay, so when I say that, what do I mean? What I mean is you have work and you have life. And you have to be fair or give the due diligence to both.
Yes.
Okay. So then, first of all, let's start with back up. Start with being thankful for what you already have.
Yes.
And that should happen first thing in the morning.
First thing in the morning. When you
start the day with that. Do I have
before you even. Oh no, I was just scratching my face. Before you even, let your feet hit the floor. When you wake up, be thankful.
Be thankful.
Be thankful of what you have.
Go over it in your mind. Take a few minutes. Plan this.
Yeah.
Now, I know this sounds like, well, man, it just sounds like I'm going to be living a whole day of plans. Well, you need to. That's the whole thing we're talking about. If the more you do it and the more you get used to it, I think it'll run more fluid and you don't feel like you're just stuck into time blocks.
Yeah.
But plan to get up a couple minutes early and think about what you already have.
Right.
You first of all, you woke up. Be thankful for that. Because you had no control over that.
Yes.
I think, if we wake up, the rest of the day is,
it should be pretty
easy because we can't do anything about that.
Yeah.
So, go ahead.
But, as you said, you wake up a little bit earlier. You don't have to wake up an hour early or, just wake up 10 minutes earlier, 15 minutes earlier. And you think about, at least this is what I do. I think about what I have to accomplish that day.
Okay.
I think about what needs to be done and what I want to do.
Need and want, two different things. Need and want.
But mainly, I start organizing from the get-go. For instance, this last week, a few days, I've been getting up at 6 and going for my walks in the morning. And while I'm doing that, getting my exercise on, I'm already thinking what I need to do when I get back home.
Yeah.
By that time, I'm already saying, okay, I need to get our daughter's bag ready. I need to have an idea of what I'm going to eat or what she's going to eat for breakfast. I need to say what I'm going to do after I drop her off. And that I've already done all of that, plus probably put some things away or set some things up for when she gets up. I don't have to be stumbling around saying, okay, what do I need to do? What do I need to do? And it may be simple because we do it every day, but you still need to think about what you need to do ahead of time. Don't wait until the time is upon you, and
absolutely,
because that you're wasting time at that moment.
And then, as they what they used to call, I know I don't hear a lot of people talk about it anymore. Christine, I love you. God bless you. My cousin, auntie, all of that. But people don't really say it anymore, but there was this thing that people used to really, really talk about in the 80s called Murphy's Law. And what it said was, if things can go wrong, they probably will. Well, all that was saying really was, because we don't want to speak negativity on anything, of course. We speak life. Amen. Praise the Lord. Come on, somebody. We speak life. But what it does mean is, if you don't plan out what's going to happen, and sometimes even if you do, there are things that can catch you off guard. And in most cases, it's normal. In most cases, if you don't plan, things have a tendency to catch you off guard more often.
But you don't have an idea of what you can do. You don't have that A plan, B plan, C plan.
Exactly.
You know, so you have to plan. Yeah.
Yeah. So why does it seem like when we leave the house, everybody who drives as slow as a snail gets in front of us? Well, it's not that they drive that slow. It was that you are now racing. Your mind is 2 miles ahead of where you are because you failed to leave on time. So that takes some planning, right? And same things can happen. So whether you wake up and you start your day at 6 a.m. because that's the time we get up, maybe you work midnights, maybe you work afternoons, whatever time you get up, start with being thankful.
Yes.
Start with just thanking the Lord for what you have already.
Right.
Thanks for my, we don't say that anymore too, testimony time, but like we used to get up and say, I thank the Lord for waking me up, for giving me life, health, and strength. I thank the Lord for being in my right mind and giving me the use and activity of my limbs. We kind of brush that off to the side now because that seems played out. But when you start thinking about that those things are absolutely critical, then we realize, hey, I need to thank God for that.
Oh, definitely.
So that's important.
Right.
If you're going to have balance, you have to be thankful. Because the more thankful you are, the more appreciative you are, the more you can accept, as Paul said, learn to be content in whatever situation you find yourself in.
Yeah.
Very important.
Very important.
Okay, I know I'm doing a lot of talking.
But
Go ahead.
no, I mean, I agree with you, and I want to go back to something you said about being fair to both.
Yes.
See, and I said it earlier, was you don't have to say, well, I'm spending 2 hours on this, and I gave 2 hours to that. Like, if you're at work, I gave 2 hours to work. Now, when I get home, I'm going to give 2 hours to this.
Yeah.
That's not what is feasible in doing.
Right.
Because people take different times to do different things. What I was speaking about is if you're going to give 100% to something, make sure you give 100% to something else as well.
Yeah.
For instance, if you are starting a business, okay, you're at work during the day or you're doing something during the day and you give that 100%, then be determined to give your own business 100%. Be determined to give your family 100%. So when you leave work, whether you work from home or work someplace else away from home, when you come home, leave work where it needs to be.
Yeah.
If you're working from home and you're done with the day, leave it where it's supposed to be and spend your 100% of your time and your attention to your family.
Yeah.
To yourself, however.
Now, with that being said, going back to work for a moment, let's talk about work. Give work your just due. I mean, if you're being paid for 8 hours, give a good 8 hours work. Okay.
Yes.
So many times, when I was still in corporate America and things like that, both of us were. You pass by, you see people on their phones nowadays.
Yeah.
Now that we have all this access to social media and internet and everything right in the palm of our hand, so many people are on their phones. So many people are doing other tasks that have nothing to do with what they're being paid to do.
Right.
First of all, if you are of the kingdom of God, let's talk to you first of all. If you are of the kingdom of God, if you are a child of God, if you are a saint, a believer, then it is your responsibility and your duty to give good service.
Right.
So do that. One of these days, I'm going to talk about something that is very near and dear to my heart. Work like you're blessed.
Ooh.
Oftentimes we think that because we're blessed, that makes us not have to work. No, when you are blessed, you should work harder.
Yes.
So we're going to talk about that one day.
Right.
Don't steal my topic, y'all preachers. No, it's okay. If it's going to help somebody, share it. Share it.
Yeah.
Share it. But yeah, when you're at work, give work your just due. Here's the other thing. Keep it separate.
Ooh.
Jesus said it this way for y'all, church people that got to have some scripture. Jesus said, that which is born of the flesh is flesh. He said that which is born of the spirit is spirit. He was not calling the flesh wrong or the spirit wrong. He was saying one has its own uniqueness.
Right.
The other one does too.
Right.
So work is work. That which is born of work is work. Don't bring your home issues to work.
Right. And so many people, and it's hard. I mean, we're going to be human. We're going to say we're human.
Yeah, but y'all know what I mean.
Yeah. But You have to draw that line, because you can't be at work and expecting to do something for your personal life or whatever of that nature, and expecting both of them to turn out right.
Yeah.
Because you're dividing your attention. You're dividing your attention.
Absolutely.
You are dividing your attention.
And that's different than multitasking.
Yes.
Don't try to say, well, I can do this, and this. No. You are to be respectful and fair, and someone is always watching. And do not destroy your witness as a believer because you are dividing your time and not giving a full day's work.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
Be respectful. Man, don't get me started talking about Joseph now. If I start talking about the Joseph principle, then we're going to be here for 20 hours. Yep. I can't do that.
Yep.
But do a great job because you are blessed. Do a great job because you are saved. Do a great job because you are a citizen of the kingdom. And then when you get home, leave work at work. That which is born of work is work. That which is born of life, home life is home life.
Yeah.
Okay.
So definitely, I agree. I mean, because you don't want to be at home and you wake up one day and you realize you've missed so much.
Oh my goodness.
You've missed so much. Why? Because you could not be fully at home.
Yeah.
Your body was there, but your spirit and your mind is handling something else.
Body's here with me.
Yeah.
But
and
your mind is on
your spirit and mind probably
the
handling
other
something else
side.
at
Can I
work
sing
or
that on the
work
air?
wise, because when you were at work, you didn't do your work.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
Yeah, life
and then
balance.
when things start imploding on you, and the boss is looking like, okay, you haven't met your numbers, you haven't done this, you haven't done that, you haven't done that.
Pothole.
Well, yeah, right. Dr. Stanley Scott, pothole, boom,
boom.
But it's because you have not given your full attention to what was at hand. So yeah, give a good day's work, and then when you come home, give a good life's work to life. Okay.
Gotta have a work life.
So here's another one.
Okay.
We talked about be thankful for what you have. Start your day with prayer. Then give a good day's work while you're at work. Be a great example of your Lord. Be a great example of your household, and be a great example of yourself. Okay, so I'm talking to single and married people. If you're single, be a great example of your household. When you go outside that door, you represent your home. You represent yourself. You represent your Lord. So make sure that you're giving 100% in that area. Then here's the next thing: give yourself. Give your personal time. That's what I'm trying to say. Give your personal time your undivided attention.
Wow. I like that. Give
Mic drop. I'm not going to drop it. I don't want to break it.
Your undivided attention.
Give your personal time your undivided attention. You deserve it. You deserve to have undivided attention.
That
undivided time. Yeah.
That relaxed time that you just.
You need
let
that.
it go.
You need that.
Yeah. Let it go.
Relax, relate, release. Y'all remember
Let
that?
it go.
Relax, relate, release. Relax, relate, release. And it's okay. You have to do that.
Yeah.
You have to do that.
Yeah. I have to say that is something that, just being transparent, I struggle with. Because, and it's not that I don't know that, but I always want to be there for my family. I want to say, if my family ever needs anything and I'm able to provide, I want to be there to provide. But I'm learning.
Yes.
My husband has made me learn.
Did I just see John Bolden the third pop up? Love you, man. Yeah. It's been a long time. Yeah. Go ahead, yeah.
But you have to take personal time for yourself, because if you don't, then other areas of your life will be affected.
Absolutely.
You get stressed out.
Absolutely.
And I know we mentioned that word a lot, stress. You get stressed out, and when you get stressed out, you start taking it out on other people.
Ooh, that's the truth.
You get tired. You get worn down.
You do.
You get discombobulated. You can't think.
Yeah.
You can't be who God needs you to be for your family.
It affects your faith, and it affects your vision. And I'm not talking about optical vision. I'm talking about sight, beyond sight.
Right.
I'm talking about being able to see things as though they were.
Right.
So that they can become what you need them to be. So yeah, it affects so many different things just by. Okay, well, let me. I don't want to. You go ahead. You're doing great.
Instance,
You're doing great.
I have a moment in which I'm constantly on the go, on the go, and I do forget to take time for myself, and I can't think.
Yeah.
I mean, you can attest to that.
Yeah.
I can't think, and when I can't think,
Hey, Sarah.
I start feeling everything, feeling everyone, and it does take you some time, as my wonderful husband, to say, "Babe, go lay down." Babe, I got this.
Yeah.
Honey, get out the house.
Yeah.
And I do put up some resistance. I'm sorry.
You know, one thing that's very important for me to say. I don't mean to interrupt you.
No, go ahead.
And I see, Sister Kim, I see what you said. That is a thing that all moms and wives need to work on. True, taking some time for yourself. But here's the thing, and I don't mean this to sound mean, but it's true. If you do not plan your time, somebody else will.
Yeah.
I could run around. Where's the organ at? Organist?
Yeah.
If you do not plan your time, somebody else. What
will.
does that mean? That means that because you have failed to value your time and put up stipulations on what your time can be utilized for, other people, not meaning to, will call on you to do this or to do that.
They'll monopolize your time.
Yeah, they'll monopolize your time. Exactly. Excellent word.
Yeah.
And then you'll start to have resentment toward them.
Yes.
But in truth, it was because you
allowed them
to.
Allow them to. You can, and nobody should have control over your life and your time and your day but you.
Yeah.
But again, you have to have people in your life that love you enough to say, take a break.
Absolutely.
No, you can't do that.
Absolutely.
And I thank you for being that to me, and I know I'm that.
Same.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Sometimes we are our own worst enemy. And again, not necessarily because we intend to be, but just because we, call it what you will, call it trying to be nice, trying to be caring or whatever. Sometimes, like, for example, I know, like you said, with you, and sometimes even with my sister, I'll call on her and I'll say, hey, I need you to do such and such for me, please. And she'll say, okay. And I can hear in her voice, and I know you're watching, I can hear in her voice that she's saying, I'll do it because I love you, but I really don't have the time to do it.
Right.
And what I'll say to her is, Kim, it's okay to say no to me if you have to.
But you're so adorable.
Because I am adorable, aren't I? That's very true. But sometimes I have to say to her, look, if you can't do it, it's okay. You're not going to hurt my feelings. I'm not going to pass out and die. I will not be bloody in the middle of the road. Unless I am bloody in the middle of the road, then I expect you to give me a little attention. But if that's not the case, then go ahead and say, no, I'm sorry. We said that in the first time. Learning how to say no is absolutely critical and crucial, and we consider it to be a mean thing. It's not. What it means is that we are watching over the assignment that we have for our life for that day.
Yeah.
I'm trying not to talk so much.
But
I
you're
promise.
doing good.
Jesus said, when you're praying, he says, pray to the Father, give us this day our daily bread.
Yes.
In other words, what we need for today. What you also need for today is time management. That's one of the daily bread pieces that come along with that. That's a crumb of it. So you've got to manage your daily bread.
Yes. I like that.
You can't give everybody your time.
I like that.
I heard Bishop T.D. Jakes say something that stuck with me. He says, I don't want any new friends in my life. At first, when I heard him say that, I was like, well, that's kind of rude. But then he explained it. He said, I cannot give everybody me.
Right. Yes.
He says, I have to keep that to a limited number of people, because if I don't, I'm going to spread myself too thin and I'm not going to be any good to anybody. All I'll keep doing is hurting your feelings because I didn't show up to this event. I didn't show up to that event. I can't do that for 30,000 people, he said.
It's good to keep your circle tight anyway.
It's good to keep your circle tight because
and know who you can trust, who you can call on and who can call on you, but who won't get mad and kick you off the boat when you can't be there for them that one time. Right. So you have to know your limits, basically.
Absolutely.
And knowing your limits, know your area in that circle.
Yeah.
So
if I'm going to be a good friend to you, and I got 50 other people I'm trying to be a good friend to you, guess who's going to get left out somewhere?
you.
I am, definitely. But then I can't uphold my obligation to you
Right.
as a friend, or my commitment to you as a friend, because I'm too far spread.
Yeah.
So keep that thing tight. Keep it tight.
Keep it tight. Keep it tight. So
Yeah.
what's next? Do you want to
So,
talk
yeah.
about us? I mean,
Yeah,
we're already talking about us.
actually
but,
we need to, because
Yeah.
we got like almost 20 minutes left.
Yeah.
A little over 20 minutes
Right.
left. Yeah. So about us, when we got married, we started out our whole relationship, believe it or not, and I know some of you are like, oh my gosh, you are just too goody two shoe type of people, and that's not real in the real world. I'm gonna say,
okay.
I know,
Yeah,
I know.
go
No,
ahead,
go
go
ahead.
ahead,
You go.
go
No, you
ahead.
go.
It's not a good.
No, you go first. No, you go first. No, you go. Okay, no, go ahead.
You've learned not to let things go around too many times. But when God puts you together,
Yeah,
it makes it so easy to be one's best friend,
yeah,
to communicate,
Mm-hmm.
to be there for each other, and there's no strife, there's no argument, and people, I have to say, we don't argue.
we don't.
We don't argue. I remember a short little story. One of my former co-workers, she said that her and her husband argue all the time and blah, blah, blah. And I said, me and my husband don't argue. And she said, well, that's not a marriage. I said, my marriage is good
Yeah,
because I don't argue.
absolutely. Don't.
Not that we don't disagree on things, but we know how to communicate it without going at each other.
Absolutely. Don't let society and stereotypes and things that you heard other people say become your reality.
Yes, yes.
Just because people say that marriage has to be rough and it's always, fussing, and it's always bickering and ball and chain and old man, listen, that doesn't have to be your reality.
Right.
If you subscribe
not.
to that, then go ahead and don't complain.
That's it.
But if you believe that marriage can be fun, if you believe that marriage can be enjoyable, if you believe that marriage can be like it is for us, it's like a slumber party every day.
Yeah.
Hanging out with your best friend,
friend.
having fun, laughing, giggling about stupid little stuff. And sometimes when we come into a place where we don't agree or see eye to eye on something, then what do? We come together and we talk, and we set ground rules first. We come together and we say, okay, the reason why we about to have this discussion right here is because I want to understand where you're coming from. Doesn't mean I'm going to meet up with where you're coming from, but at least I want to understand what your mindset is behind what you're saying or how you're feeling.
What you're thinking. Yeah.
Right. And that sets the ground. And we say this too. Whatever happens at the end of this thing, I love you.
I love you.
That's never going to change, okay?
And we're not going to bed mad at each other.
We're not going to be mad at each other. We're not going to leave the room. We're not going to leave the house. We're going to stay right there, and we're going to work it out. That's very, very important, especially when you're trying to work together as a family. Whether both people are working or whether one person is at home, it doesn't make a difference. The whole thing is you have to have an agreement. And okay, single people, well, I ain't married. You just talking to the married folk. Single people, if you are single and you live only by yourself, you still got to be in agreement with yourself.
Yes.
You got to be in agreement with your surroundings. You got to be in agreement
with God.
Yeah, with God. You got to be in agreement with what you set up for your life. It's not just you. I know you think it's just you because you're one person, but it's not just you.
Yeah.
It's a whole lot of other things that's bouncing off of that, and you got to come to peace with that.
Right.
So
let's talk about how we function.
Yeah.
We work together.
Yeah.
We're in ministry together. A lot of our businesses are our businesses together. Whether you started or I started it, we work together.
Yeah.
We do a lot of
literally
things
together.
and a lot of
who drove to work together, worked at the same place, drove home together.
We were with each other 24/7, literally.
Yeah,
literally
throughout our marriage.
A lot of our friends, and people that know us say, "Oh my gosh, I can't work with my husband, or I can't work with my wife, and how do y'all do it?" And nothing wrong if you can't be physically working with your spouse. That's fine. That's you. But we function so much better. Every time when we see something not working, we sit down or we're looking at each other and we say, because we're not doing it together.
Yeah, that's usually what the issue is.
We're not doing it together.
If things are not working out the way we want them to, it's because we're not on one accord.
Right.
And maybe that means that, maybe we talked about it, or I told you, hey, babe, I'm going to do this, or I'm going to embark on doing this. You'd be like, okay, cool. And, you let me have my space to do whatever crazy idea I have this week, But usually, if both of us are like, yeah, I could see that, let's do this. When that happens, always takes place. We just always soar with it.
Right.
So yeah, being in agreement on that.
So
how did you? Let me ask you this before we go forward. How did you deal with, or how did you feel about us actually working together, going to work together, getting up together, getting in the car together, driving to work together, being at work?
I enjoyed it because I didn't have to drive all the time. Crack me up. But I enjoyed it because I already knew in my mind, as we said, we work great together. We have a bond that brought us closer.
Yeah.
The more we work together. And I love that. It was literally having my best friend with me all the time. When you have a best friend, you want to hang out with them all the time.
I do.
So why not have that best friend as your spouse?
Yeah.
I loved it.
As long as, okay, let me.
What?
Have your best friend as your spouse. You know what we're talking about. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. Come on out of here.
You are silly.
All right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
You are silly.
I had to.
Fine print. Read the fine print. But again, it was great because we communicated about everything. We knew what the other was doing, and it wasn't like keeping tabs on each other. But if we needed something and we needed to bounce off, and we literally sometimes worked like a few cubicles away from each other.
Yeah.
But
literally,
but we were able to like look over and say, yeah, you okay, I got you.
Yeah.
But it was good, especially because we both worked in fast-paced environments, and it was good to drive home and detox.
Yeah.
And talk about our day, and we were able to talk about our day. And then when we got home, that was done.
Yeah.
And it was like, babe, what do you want for dinner? Babe, let's do this. Let's watch this. But it was that moment of I had my friend, my husband, my coworker, everything rolled into one.
Yeah.
But I felt like it was just, a great fit. It allowed us to have a work-life balance.
Absolutely,
It did.
Absolutely,
It did.
So, and then
How did you feel?
Listen, I enjoyed it honestly because for the exact same reasons you mentioned. I don't think I could say it better myself, but I'll try anyway.
Of course you would.
No, but really, the beautiful thing about it was that I knew that, especially with working together, you would understand what I was talking about if I did vent a little bit after work.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
I can't believe such and such happened today, or I had to deal with this person in regard to this, or this person, they called in complaining about, I didn't get paid right, and I didn't, what happened to this, and when am I going to be able to take this time off that? And so, dealing with all of those different things, all those different employees and things of that nature, I knew you knew where I was coming from because you were dealing with the exact same thing in your department.
Yes.
So it really helped out a lot. And then when we came home, because you know how sometimes when you've been with a person for a long time, like you were saying, you get that kind of inside trader information mentally where you don't have to say everything. I knew she would get it.
Right.
So that helped detox me a lot because it was like she understands. Many times we just want somebody to understand. That's really what it is.
I understand you.
Thank you. You complete me. Okay. You complete me. Yeah. Hey, Dr. Scott, we love you, sir. We love you so much. Thank you for watching. So I had a great time. And then, in addition to that, not just at work, but again, projects that we worked on together at home.
Ministry.
Ministry is a big one because being a pastor and having to work together in that. we had to really make sure that we understood what was, again, church,
Right.
and what was home. And
right.
many times that has a tendency to get a little bit more intertwined or blurred
Yes.
lines.
Yes.
But, as we said earlier, with the work and the home, like Jesus said, that which is born of the flesh is flesh,
Right.
that which is born of the
Right.
spirit is spirit,
Right.
that which is born of church is church, and that which is born of home is home. And we have to do the best we can to try to keep those separated.
Separate.
But because
Sometimes they do.
sometimes they do clash and come together. But the thing is that when we do get together and talk about it or discuss it, it alleviates a lot of stress, a lot of pressure, because now we are both open.
Right. And there's some things that I know that you can't talk to me about in regards to church, when you're
Yeah.
counseling and things of that
I got to be
nature.
Fort Knox on some things.
Yeah, you do, and I understand that, and I'm fine with that.
Mm-hmm.
But my mind is always, as your spouse,
Right.
as your helpmate, is to always help you,
Absolutely.
always be there for you. Okay, you can't talk to me, but then what else in your life, in your area, that I can take on when you're going through something, when you're dealing with something? So
See, that's love right there.
Yeah, I can't help you in that manner,
matter
but
of
let
fact,
me help you in other manners.
stand up half of a second so people
half
can
a
see this
second?
shirt. Maybe I don't know if
I don't
can
know
you
how
can y'all
much-
see her shirt? Stand like right here, real nice and good. Ooh. You see what her shirt says? The Real Housewife.
Yeah,
That's right.
that's what I am.
That's what she
That's
is.
what I
The
am.
Real Housewife.
Yeah.
And that does not mean that she is in some submissive role where she's just waiting along for me to come home and here's your slippers and here's your news. No.
Yeah.
No. What it means is she knows how to keep home things home. And we deal with home things together. And
Right.
okay, let me say it this way then. I'm a house husband.
Right.
All right. In that we work together to make sure that okay.
Yeah,
getting-
we're about to get on a whole
We
new.
are. But let me say
oh
this
my gosh.
because I hope it helps. Hey, Anita Nesby Johnson, my cousin, I love you so much. You and Apostle Johnson, my cousin Victor, I love you both. We love you both.
Yes.
And everybody check out her page. Go to her page, Chandelier.
Ooh.
You're talking about supermodel extraordinaire
Yes.
and designer and oh my goodness,
Yes.
she will make you look good. She'll
Yes,
make you look
yes.
good. But the one thing I was going to say is that your household, and I can say this for single people as well as married people, your household is your first business. I'm talking about a business entity. I'm talking about
because you got to run it.
you have to run it,
You have
right?
to manage
so
it.
in doing so, if I come in and try to act like the CEO, the vice president, the CFO, the LMNOP, and by a vowel, then and try to leave you out of it, then what do we have? We have a conflict. We're going to have some stress.
Yeah.
I'm trying to treat you like an employee. No. We have to respect each other
Right.
and act as
We work together. We
Yeah.
flow. We know.
co-founders.
Co-founders.
We've co-founded this
we build
family.
our home. We watch over our home. We manage our home, and we keep our home.
Yeah. Somebody wants your shirt.
Oh, really? Okay, I gotcha.
All right. Yeah, but we have to work on that together, which means we have to be open and honest about what we're talking
Right,
about.
right.
And we have to make sure that even in our home balance that we are giving undivided attention to ourselves. Okay? So again, like you said, I respect the fact and I understand that the job has its place. Whereas we have to recognize that it's not the job that sustains us, it's the opportunity for us to, okay, let me not even get into that because I'll start preaching. But with that being said, when we come home, she deserves my undivided attention. I deserve her undivided
Right.
attention. And I understand sometimes work spills over where you got to get some things done late at night or whatever. But if you have 5 minutes, and we said this from the first time when we first got together, if we have 5 minutes, if we have 3 minutes, if we have 2 minutes, if we have 20 minutes, it's not the quantity.
It's the quality.
It's the quality.
Yeah.
Am I really listening to you when you talk to me? Are you real? So I turn the TV off because I'm dumb, y'all. I am stupid dumb. I cannot multitask very well. If I have headphones on and they are too loud, I literally cannot taste my food. I promise you, I'm telling the truth.
And I know
So,
when to mute the TV when
Yeah.
sometimes turn it off because
it's true. So when she comes to talk to me about something, I literally have to pause the TV or turn it off or something, because if she's talking and I will end up asking her if she wants fries and a drink with that, because I am so far off base. I'm serious. It's the truth. It is the truth.
Oh,
So give whoever's in your household, even if it's yourself, give undivided attention to that.
Yes.
That's going to create beautiful work-life balance.
Yes.
I'm
yes.
sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I don't even know what I was about to say.
I'm sorry. It's true. We have to be willing to run it as a unit.
Run it as a unit, but that's the thing, because we both work from home, basically. We work from home. And
now we do.
Well, yes, now we do. Yay!
Hey.
So with that, we both have our own space.
Mm-hmm.
We both know. I know when you're up in the office, you're in the office. You're good, unless you yell down and say you need something. When I'm in my little area, my office, of course,
that's the whole house.
The whole house, because I can work from anywhere. Yeah, he can't.
I get a cubby closet.
Anywho, but we have our own space. We still bounce things off of each other. We come up with plans and ideas. When our daughter is away at her babysitter school, we're focused. We get things done.
Yeah.
We do a full day's work. We're committed, but we also take time for each other.
Yeah.
And then when our daughter comes home, it's the family. We do things together.
Absolutely.
And I love that. But we know, and even our daughter knows, when it's church time, it's church time. When we have to discuss church things, we discuss church things. We discuss business things. But our family, that's it. It's one thing. That's our why of why we have to have a work-life balance, and why we communicate, why we go all out.
Yeah.
And every day we wake up thankful. We wake up with the mindset of what can I do for ourselves, but what can I do for our household? What can I do for you? We ask all the time, I think, basically, when we get out of bed, is what do you need? What can I do for you?
Need anything?
Need anything? Let me know if you need anything. Yeah.
And then that spills over into how we are able to be a blessing to others as well. Because somebody's always watching. Somebody's always watching. And that doesn't mean you put on a front for people. You be honest with people. Be the truth with people. We're not perfect.
No.
We're not saying that we're perfect in any kind of way. What we are saying is that we've come to the understanding that there are some things that you just have to deal with. And the most okay, listen, if you're not going to deal with calling back that creditor that's blowing up your line, at least because you live with this person, or at least because you are in your own household, deal with yourself, or deal with your spouse, deal with your family. Give them the time, undivided time. It's so hard to do that nowadays. Put this down for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and just listen. Just talk. Just share.
Just
get
laugh.
it out there. Just laugh. Have balance. Everything has balance in nature. Everything has balance in nature.
It's like when you're riding a bicycle, okay, without the training wheels on it.
Yeah.
If they always say, once you find your center, once you find that balance, you can go. But if you all over the place, you're going to fall.
Yeah.
Don't allow yourself to fall.
Absolutely. So here's the thing. Don't take on other people's realities as your own. It doesn't have to be as crazy and as hard as everybody says it is. Especially for marriage. Don't believe the hype that is just, there's no excitement after you get married, and you have to be frustrated, and one person has to be in one room, one person has to be in the other. Don't believe that. If you want something different, do it different. We are living proof and example that you can have fun, you can laugh, you can enjoy each other.
Oh, yeah.
Do we act stupid, goofy, crazy? Yes. Are there times we're like, oh my gosh, she is just, and I'm sure she's like, why in the world is he doing that? But the point is that we can talk about it. We can talk about it. I don't have anything to hide from you.
No.
If I have something to hide from you, that's a problem.
Yeah.
So be honest with yourself first. And you can do that as a single person. But that's another form of balance. It's another form of balance. So then we talked about let's just because we got a couple minutes left.
Couple minutes to recap.
We talked about be fair to both your job and to your home. Give a good day's work while you're at work. We talked about that. Give a good time increment or in time investment to your home life.
I like that time investment. I like that.
Patent pending.
We talked about being thankful for what you already have.
Yes.
Big thing. If you can't start your day, and their day doesn't mean AM, it means whenever you get up. If you can't start your day to just give that time to God and say, thank you for blessing me with this. Thank you for doing this for me. Thank you for bringing me through this. Then that's a practice that you need to start.
Have to.
You need to start that.
Yes.
Even when I'm out walking, doing my walk or exercise, I'm still talking to God. God is here. I do my best praying when I'm out exercising because my mind is clear. Okay.
There was a message I preached one Sunday talking about Cain and Abel. It was called The First, the Best, and a Little Extra. Give God the first part of your day. Give God the first part of your mind. Whenever your day starts, give him the best part of your day. Give him the time when you are at your ultimate thinking peakosity. I guess I don't know if that's a good word.
Say it enough, it'll be in Webster.
It'll be in Webster. So yeah, be thankful. The next one was let's see where we at here. Give a good day's work while you're at work. Be a great example of your Lord, your household, and yourself. Yes. Give yourself personal
time of undivided attention
to yourself.
You deserve it.
You deserve it. That means don't give the time necessarily to Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or YouTube. Give yourself some personal time.
Give yourself some personal time. Go out and take a walk.
Yeah.
Go out and have dinner with yourself.
I would do it all the time before we got married.
Yeah.
I would go out to Carl's Chop House, order the biggest steak they had, sit there and enjoy it. And people would look at me like, oh my God, you're eating by yourself. I'd be like, yep.
Yeah.
And please don't breathe on my food. Yep. Yeah, you got to do that.
Give yourself that time. Recuperate, rebuild, re-energize yourself. Because once you do, then you can focus on your family. You can focus on work. But you can do it.
Yeah.
Just do it.
That which is born of the flesh is flesh. That which is born of the spirit is spirit. That which is born of work is work. That which is born of home is home. Give all of them your undivided attention. Yeah. And when I say undivided attention, no, you cannot literally give everything the exact, like you said, the exact amount of time.
Right.
But whenever you're working on it, give it your best.
Yeah. Think about the quality more so of quantity.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I guess we're about at the end of the show, babe. But I thank you so much for being on with me today. Show everybody again one more time this beautiful shirt you got on. She makes shirts. Everyone, her business is First Impression. Yes. First Impression. That's EMPRESSION. And she
something we collaborated on.
We collaborate. We work together on it. She custom designs shirts. You've seen many of the shirts that I've worn on here. Those were made by her. She has incredible shirts. A lot of people are wearing them. Go to her Facebook page, First Impression. Matter of fact, you can find her on her own Facebook page.
Yes.
Lady
Tarcha.
Lady Tarcha, and then you can find First Impression from on there and order some of her shirts. You will really, really love them. But thank you again so much.
Thank you for having me.
I'm glad that this is also something that we can share.
We can share together.
We got a balance in it.
Coaching by Al.
Hey.
Wonderful.
So again, if you want to support the show, $ Coaching by Al LLC. That's at Cash App. We're coming out with new ways for you to be able to share and donate. But go ahead and get Cash App and send us something or call me and say, hey, I got something for you. You can message me. I'll come pick it up. It's okay. It's okay. I'll come pick it up. Elder Willie Thompson, God bless you. Thank you so much for joining us. And Roz, I feel you. Yeah, we got to give ourselves some personal time sometimes. But that's it. We got to roll out of here because I think we might be just a few minutes over. But we got to do this again, babe.
Just let me know.
I enjoy it.
I enjoy it. I'm a behind the scenes kind of gal, but
I keep telling her she can't stay behind the scenes, especially if you're gonna be hanging around with me. You ain't gonna be behind the scenes long. But I hope that you receive something from today. Yes. Go back and watch it again. Like it. Don't forget to like it. Don't just watch. If you're watching and you enjoy what we're saying, be sure to hit the like button and also hit the share button, yes, so that you can share this content with somebody else. We're not going to say anything that's going to embarrass you. Don't worry. Okay. But it would really be a help and a blessing to us, yes, to help me to get Coaching by Al pushed out to as many people as possible. We all need a coach. We all need somebody who can look at our lives and see little tweaks that can be made to help us get the maximum fulfillment out of what we've been assigned, mm-hmm, called, and instructed to do by God. So that's what I want to be in your life. Thank you. I hope you enjoy it, and we'll see you next time.
He'll see you next time.
I was trying. I'll see you next time on Coaching by Al. God bless you. We love you.
Mwah.
This is Prophet Blaine, and you are listening to Worship Radio International, the world's #1 online Christian radio station.